Hi, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your June 2021 full moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowl sing as we see what the tarot has to say. How will Cancer be affected by the June 2021 full moon? How will Cancer be affected by the June 2021 full moon? How will Cancer be affected by the June 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. How will Cancer be affected by the June 2021 full moon? How will Cancer be affected by the June 2021 full moon? How will Cancer be affected by the June 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Ooh, okay. Angels and spirit guides. How will Cancer be affected by the June 2021 full moon? How will Cancer be affected by the June 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. How will Cancer be affected by the June 2021 full moon? How will Cancer be affected by the June 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Ooh, okay. So at the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, and the public self. And I like how we have more cards here for the heart itself, and we also have the same amount for the public arena. But this is linking us to the fact that the sun is in Cancer during this moon, and the moon is in Capricorn. So this makes for a brilliant conflict, and the signs that are most affected by this conflict, or most affected by this moon in and of itself, are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. So if you have these signs within your chart, and because you are a Cancer in and of itself, this is going to be an intense time for you, and especially emotionally. So let's look at what our rooted self is saying. We have the Queen of Pentacles and the Emperor. So the Queen of Pentacles is Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, meaning we have a very strong connection with this moon in Capricorn. And then we have the Emperor, which is Aries energy, time frame March 21st to April 19th. The inner self, we have the Five of Swords. So this is conflict, this is conflict. This is having to face something that we thought we were done with. It's like, okay, I didn't want to do this again. I didn't like this road the first time I walked it. I definitely don't like it now. And then we have the Five of Cups. The repeat of the number 5 shows freedom, but the Five of Cups is change your mind and change your life. So this is going to be very important to be able to look at a situation that we have been in before and being able to change our minds to move forward in a way and in a direction that we might not have thought we could move forward in. We might not have thought like, wow, this will be me, but we are going to see that there's a different arena that's guiding us. We have the Sun, which is absolutely brilliant. It's the happiest card in the whole entire deck. We then have the 9 of Wands and the Death card, which is Scorpio energy, time frame October 23rd to November 21st. And in the public arena, we have the Chariot, which is us coming through as we're represented by the Chariot in the major arcana. So Cancer is the essence of us in the public arena, so that's absolutely beautiful. We have the 9 of Swords coming out, worry, doubt, fear, negativity, nightmares. And then we have the Lovers, and if you're born on the cusp with Gemini and Cancer, the Gemini part of your personality is going to be coming out quite intensely. Lovers is representative of Gemini in the major arcana, right, or in the zodiac, and this is a sense of falling in love, of seeing that there are more ways in life than we even realize, being able to move forward in duality, but also in understanding and contemplation. So that's going to be powerful. Let's start talking about this moon, because this moon is going to be intense for us, and it was going to be intense right off the bat. But we can see here with the major arcana cards that come forward that this is a heavy-hitting time for us. Now, the moon, of course, always tells us to surrender to the divine, because that's where our power is. And that's going to be very true. Now, with the full moon in Capricorn on the 24th of June, what we are going to see here is we're going to see that the end of a tough cycle approaches. And that's because we're being forced to face things that maybe before we didn't want to face. With the sun in Cancer and the moon in Capricorn, again, it creates conflict. Cancer is all about the private life, home, and nurturing. Capricorn is all about the public life, career, and responsibilities. So what we want to nurture during this time from the sun's energy is going to be what is most sacred to us. While because of the moon's energy, we're still going to want to be goal-oriented and achieving. And so this can make things a little bit complicated, because usually what is most sacred to us is not going to be what is most valued by everybody else. Now, it can be, for some, it definitely can be, but for most of us, it's not going to be. Now, Cancer calls us to value our roots and our home, and Capricorn calls us to value duty, public responsibility, and personal responsibility. Cancer is all about the beginning and roots, and Capricorn is all about the goals. Again, how am I contributing? The thing that happens is that this brings battle between conditional and unconditional love. Cancer, of course, has unconditional love. Capricorn has conditional love. If you can meet your responsibilities, if you can achieve what needs to be achieved, then the love can come forward. And during this time, we're going to see that it's a bit hard. It's a bit hard to balance everything. And what this moon also brings forward is that something within us has been building for quite a long time. And this moon is demanding that we let it out. Demanding that we let out what we most want, what we most desire, what we most need, especially if it comes from a place of love, prosperity, and success. If it is a nastiness that we've always been battling with, then we should continue battling that nastiness. But to be able to let out what our soul most desires is going to be very important to us. This will be an emotional time and a time of profound revelations. So an end of a tough cycle approaches because we're being kind of put through the ringer during this moon. We're having to look at things in a way that is more open, more honest, more intense than we want to. And we have to look at the conflicting areas of our personality, of what the world demands, of what we want, of what we desire, and see how we can move forward in a harmonizing of ourselves. Now, the new moon is on the 10th of July, and this new moon is in Cancer. And of course, the sun is in Cancer. During this time, we're still in Cancer. So here we have a new start is coming, And we have beginnings, walking through that portal for that new time. Now, you and your loved ones are safe. This is what is being stated here. Now, this is because this is what's so powerful and important for our hearts, to be able to know that we and those that we most care for are safe, taken care of, and secure. So during this moon, our Cancer side of us, during this new moon, our Cancer side of us is going to come out quite profoundly. And we just have to let ourselves be. We have to let ourselves have our comfort foods. We have to let ourselves do comfortable things, things that make us feel at home and secure and powerful within our hearts. And it brings us to the full moon in Aquarius. Show the world the real you. Now, on the 23rd of July, the full moon will be in Aquarius, and that's what we're being called to do. Show the world the real you. And as we've gone through this battle with Capricorn energy, with Cancer energy, with the end of a tough cycle approaching, with the demands of the heart coming forward, we're going to find it a little bit easier to show the world the real us. But we're still going to find it to be terrifying. So that's going to be okay. We're going to think, oh my goodness, I can't do this. And then we're going to find, yes, I can. Because I'm embracing my heart. I'm embracing my soul. I'm embracing what is intrinsically important to me. Now let's look at our chakra energy. How will Cancer be affected by the June 2021 full moon? How will Cancer be affected by the June 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Ooh, these two. Okay. So we have dreams, the third eye chakra, and nurturing the earth star chakra. This is time for us to nurture our dreams from our roots, from the earth star chakra, which is located 6 inches below our feet, to our third eye chakra, to this sense of enlightenment, understanding, opening up the doors, seeing things more clearly, more openly, more honestly for ourselves as we do so. And this then leads us to the energy to be mindful of. What is the energy that Cancer has to be mindful of during the June 2021 full moon? What is the energy that Cancer has to be mindful of during the June 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. It's the moon in and of itself. So the moon represents Pisces in the major arcana. So this is February 19th to March 20th is the time frame. What we're going to see here is that this moon calls forward our conscious and our subconscious self. So our conscious self is, of course, going to be represented by Capricorn. Our goals, what we need to get done, our responsibilities. Our subconscious self is going to be our heart, our emotions. So it's going to be us, Cancer, that we're connecting with. And it's a fear that never the two shall meet. We will not be able to move forward with our hearts, with our souls, with our passion, with this understanding the way that we want to. This moon is also going to dredge up a lot that we'd rather keep in the closet. This moon, if we tend to be moon sensitive, is going to be highly impactful and something where we just have to be mindful of that. We have to be mindful of the energy that's coming our way. We have to be mindful of the passion that is around us. We have to be mindful that our emotions are running super high and on super intensity during this time. So knowing that this moon is going to be a heavy hitter and isn't going to play fair is going to be important for us. And by that, what Spirit is saying when it says that Spirit, that it isn't going to play fair, is that it's going to be more intense than we thought it was going to be. It's going to call on nerves and doubts and fears that make us look at things quite differently than before. Now, the Queen of Pentacles connects us with the Capricorn energy of the full moon. So the full moon, and you can even see the moon above her here. So the full moon has this sense of calling us to prosperity, to looking at our bounty, to looking at what we want and what we need. And this is a time where we're nurturing the seeds. This is a time where we're seeing how the seeds have grown, what we have planted, what we desire, where our strengths are, where our weaknesses are. We can be very ruthless in the way that we're assessing ourselves. We can also be a little bit ruthless in the way that we're assessing others, but that's a different story. So here, well, that is something that we're also to be mindful of during this time. We might look at what they have achieved, how they have achieved, and be a little bit harsher than we need to be. The Queen of Pentacles is calling us towards prosperity, towards success, towards bounty. And at our root during this time, we want to be as successful as humanly possible. Sometimes, there are times in our lives where we're like, oh, it's okay. I can be a little bit kind of lackadaisical with things. This is not going to be one of those times. This is going to be one of the times where I need to do XYZ. I need to move this way. I need to achieve that. That's going to be very much a powerful drive for us during this time. And with the Queen of Pentacles, we're not going to need to be in everybody's face. This is going to be a time where we step back, we connect with what we want, what we need, what we desire, what we're looking for, and then we go for it. And people might say to us, as time goes on, as the power of this moon, guides us, I didn't know you were planning this, or, oh my gosh, Cancer, can you believe that this happened? You were an overnight success. It's like, yes, I can believe I was an overnight success. I've been working my tush off at this for, like 25 years. What the heck? It's not overnight at all. These are the type of things that people are going to say. Or, how did you become so good at it? I didn't know that you started practicing the guitar. You only just started practicing and now you're so good at it. And they don't know the time, the effort, the hours you put in to watching these seeds grow, to watching these things be nurtured. And that leads us to the Emperor. And this is intensity. Now, also remember that Aries is highly affected by this moon. So we are going to be highly affected by this time at our roots because the moon energy comes in and so does the Emperor. Now, with this comes tenacity. We are claiming our thrones. We want things a certain way. We want to move forward towards certain goals. We would rather do it by ourselves than have somebody else do it for us. We're going to be very driven. We're going to be highly focused. And this is a time where we are creating our throne instead of seizing it from somebody else. We do not want to walk where others have walked before. We kind of want to be the trailblazers. We want to be the extraordinary. And that's going to be something that we're really embracing during this time, but it has to come from the heart, from emotions, from caring, from compassion. Because Cancer, if it doesn't, then it doesn't come from us. It doesn't come from our authentic, powerful place. Now, it brings us to our inner self. Now, our inner self has a lot of conflict during this time, and that makes sense because, again, we're picking up on the conflict between the sun and the moon. And so here, with the Five of Swords, what happens is we are facing things that we have faced in the past, that we do not want to be facing again, that we've had enough of, that have been completely overwhelming for us, and we thought we were done. Now this is a time where that energy starts coming up again. The doubts, the fears, the anger, the hurt, the pain, the resentment. And it can even be that just as we're moving forward in our life, we start having memories of the past, of past hurts, past pains, or somebody reminds us of an ex or a person who betrayed us, or a coworker that we just didn't get on with. And we're looking at this and we're like, why is this energy coming up so intensely? Why is it blocking me so completely? And what we need to do is step back. And we need to evaluate the situation if we can. Or what we need to do is, if we're in this situation and we're thinking, wow, I'm really feeling this intensely, what is right for me? How do I move forward in the way that is right for me? Not that's right for anybody else, but that moves me forward in my power, in my tenacity, in my brilliance, and towards my success. The thing that we're going to be doing here and that we need to do is not to back down. It's going to be very easy to say, you know what, this makes me uncomfortable. I'm not happy with this. I'm just going to kind of hide away. This is a time that even if we wind up leaving the situation, even if we know, you know what, I'm not getting any headway here, this person is like talking to a brick, or actually a brick might be easier, more communicative to talk to, I'm going to step away because I'm done. We're putting ourselves first. We're looking at the emotions that we need to evaluate. We're looking at how we need to handle ourselves within that situation, and we're doing what's best for us. That's going to be important. Now, it's not being egotistical, it's not being self-centered and, self-aggrandizing, but it is being aware of our surroundings, of what we need, of our goals, of what we desire, and what is a mental trap for us during this time. It then moves us to the Five of Cups, and the Five of Cups is change your mind, change your life. It's going to be so easy to be in the negative. During this time, it just is. It's going to be so easy to see everything that we haven't done, everything that we haven't accomplished, all the hurts, all the pains, all the disappointments, all the angers, all the upsets. That's going to be a very easy default mode to fall into. This is a time where we need to step away from that. This is a time where we need to turn around and see the Two of Cups that is right there for us. We change our mind, we change our lives, and we let in the healing. We let in the love. We let in the compassion. We let in the understanding. And that starts to change things, because instead of just seeing everything that's gone wrong, everything that we've done wrong, everything that just cannot be, we're starting to open up that third eye, and we're embracing the Earth Star Chakra, that sense of, this is who I am. This is part of what connects me to this earthly plane, what binds me to this world. And then we start to heal. We start to look at the positive instead of the negative. We start to be open and honest with ourselves about the frustrations we have, the angers, the upsets, the disappointments, the travesties that have happened in our lives. And that leads us emotionally to the sun. That leads us to happiness, joy, success, prosperity, bounty. When we have the sun come in any area, when it comes to the tarot, and when it comes to ourselves, people will take us by eyes. They want to have that prosperity. They want to have that success. They want to move forward in that blessing. And what they think, because we come from a world of lack, is that if you have this, I cannot. We even see it within ourselves. I know I see it within myself. When I see people who have things that I would really love, relationships that I think, wow, that's a really solid, good relationship that they have with a caregiver, or that they, have this confidence within themselves. And I'm like, wow, I really would have liked that. I really would have liked to have that connection. And there's a bit of jealousy that comes up. And then there's a bit of, well, I hope you fail, that also comes up. And it's like, no, you need to step out of that mindset, because that's what we think. That's what we're taught as human beings. If you fail, I can be better. No, it's like, let the radiance of the sun shine on you. Let it be your happiness. Let that be your blessing. Let the world absolutely move you forward in that blessing, in that brilliance, in that beauty of self and self-expression. My blessing will be somewhere else, or it might just take time to manifest. So here, let your blessing shine, even when people who might have the best of intentions get jealous and take you by eyes. So during this time, just know it. Just know that people will be much more kind of open with their aggression, that people will be angry and upset and hurt and despairing, and see you with a spark. And you might say, Dane, I don't have anything that they should be, jealous of, but you have this spark. And they might not even see themselves with this spark, with this creativity, with this intention, with this power, with this brilliance that you have. And you might not be seeing it yourself, but others are definitely seeing it within you. Let it shine. Let it shine, and let yourself move forward in a freedom of heart and soul and desire and wisdom. And it moves us then to the Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Wands is letting what everybody else says affect us. Emotionally, we're going to take in everything. It's going to affect us, it's going to upset us, it's going to overwhelm us. And what we have to realize is that your opinion is your opinion. It gets to be yours. My opinion is my opinion, and it gets to be mine. I get to stand in my world, in my version of the truth, in what I desire from my life. Now, it does not mean that we look at things and, argue with people with what they think is relevant and what we think is relevant. That's actually what this is telling us to avoid. We've already been through the battle and been through the war. We've been bandaged. We've, held on. Now we have to be able to express ourselves. Now we have to be able to stand in the power of our voice and our desire and open up the door. And as we do so, it's the dying away of the old self and the rebirth of the new. This can actually be emotionally very poignant, but very a hurtful time. And I know it is going to hurt a bit, because this is a point where we start to see that nothing is permanent. And we really start to understand that in an intense and powerful way. That all is flux and nothing stays the same. And the person that I was beginning this journey is not the person I am now. And at times that is a blessing, and at other times it builds resentment, because I like that person who was wide-eyed and dreamer. I like that person who thought that they could do anything. I like that person who loved fully and passionately and powerfully before their heart was broken time and time again. And we might look back and say, well, that person is gone. Here's the thing. That person is not gone. It's just an aspect of them. That naivety, that the lessons that needed to be learned through being hurt, through being overwhelmed, through, doubts and despairs and heartbreaks and pain. They needed to be felt within us as part of our journey in this world. And as we understand that everything is constantly changing, we understand that we ourselves are constantly changing. And no amount of power, for the king lays down on the ground with his crown thrown off his head, or connection to spirit, or seeming abundance and brilliance in life, can stop it. We are all changing, and we need to embrace that change. This is the dying away of the old self, the rebirth of the new. This is a sense of, I am not who I was when I started, but what I am now has power and intensity to it. Even if we're in a really dark spot within our lives, there's a power, there's an intensity, there's a passion to it. That if we hold on to our connection with spirit, if we hold on to the greater vision, we can move ourselves towards. And then we have, in the public arena, ourselves come through first and foremost. We have the Chariot, with the moon right underneath us. The Chariot is ferocity. Now, in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, it is a person on a chariot. It is a charioteer in a chariot. And we tend to forget that the Chariot represents power. That the Chariot was only driven by pharaohs and emperors and kings. So why do we forget our own power? Just because our kindness is a tremendous strength that we have. Now, I think this is an osprey. I might be completely wrong. So if I am, sorry. But I just see this as a bird that represents the gods. During this time with our intentions, with what we're going after, we're representing this creative, mythological aspect of life. Now, however you view religion, whether it's mythological or not, I don't believe the ancient Egyptians thought, oh, our religion will become mythology. What we're going to see here is ancient wisdom guiding us forward. What we're going to see here is our connection to the divine guiding us forward. What we're going to see is that we need to soar, we need to express, we need to let out a cry that, that emboldens us and moves us in a tremendous way. And it brings us then to the Nine of Swords. It brings us face to face with nightmares. So as we're being bold, as we're being brave, as we're being, true to who we are and fierce in our expression, the Nine of Swords comes in and says, but wait, aren't you afraid? Can't you not sleep? Isn't everything falling apart? Nothing is good. It's all going to be hard and bad and tough and overwhelming. We have to move past the nightmares. We have to name the nightmares, or else they will try to name us. They will try to take control over us and say, but this is fate. This is what always is. There is always going to be failure. There is always going to be worry. There is always going to be fear. Why cannot you embrace that? And so with the Nine of Swords, we need to look at where we want to be. We need to understand our fears and call them out and be able to empower ourselves, be able to embolden ourselves when this darkness creeps in, when people say these nasty things that make us think, oh no, here it is, here it goes again. Subconsciously brings us back to a time where we were little, when we were overwhelmed, when we were, vulnerable, and brings us back to that pain. So do be mindful of that. But then if we can look at our nightmares and say, I see you, I understand you, and I will not be defined by you, the Lovers opens up. We start to fall in love with our lives again. We start to fall in love with the duality that this moon brings, the challenge that this moon has brought us. We start to look at what we desire, what we want, what we need, what we long for, where it is that we want to be, and where it is that we never want to be again. The Lovers gives us our masculine and feminine energy. It gives us this duality of understanding, but also the understanding that there's more than just two points of views. There's a myriad points of views, and we have to know that the world is vast, and our knowledge and our hearing and our understanding is vast. But the falling in love with life, as we embrace our power, ourselves, our essence of being, and we face our nightmares and our fears, is going to be so important. It leads us to now connecting what the moon has to say. How will Cancer be affected by the June 2021 full moon? How will Cancer be affected by the June 2021 full moon? How will Cancer be affected by the June 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Ooh. How will Cancer be affected by the June 2021 full moon? How will Cancer be affected by the June 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. So we have gratitude, and the answers you need are coming at our root. The unexpected. Believe in the impossible. Release. A fiery climax approaches. Hunger. Don't let your past hold you back. I like that. There's a lot of passion here, which I really quite enjoy. So here we start off with gratitude. The answers you need are coming. And it's coming through ancient wisdom. It's coming through the words of the elders within the family. It's coming through this sense of knowledge and hopes and dreams. Having gratitude because the answers you need are coming. Because things are unfolding in a way that brings light and realization to us, but also helps to guide us, helps to stabilize us, also helps us see what's truly important. The unexpected. Believe in the impossible. This is a time, quite frankly, Cancer, with the moon in Capricorn, that you are going to see that the impossible can be possible. You are going to see the most unbelievable things come together. You're going to look at things and just be flawed. It's even within the change within ourselves. You're going to be like, oh no, this can't possibly be. It's all going to be conflict, and it's all going to be like, it just has to be chaotic. And then all of a sudden the chaos will come to a head. And all of a sudden things will start to move forward. And it'll be like, oh, that's what I was seeking. That's what I desired. That's what I loved, and that's what I wanted. And it brings us to a release. A release because the fiery climax approaches. A release because we are hitting the crescendo. And as we hit the crescendo, we release all the energy within us that is holding us back, that is keeping us in toxicity, that is making us doubt ourselves, that is bringing us to feel overwhelmed and not empowered. And we start to release and release and release, because this moon lets us release what is no longer relevant to our lives, lets us see our goals, but lets us see our heart and our dreams and be open and honest with ourselves and our desires. And it brings us, as we release, to what we hunger for now. And it's telling us, don't let your past hold you back. What you hunger for now does not get to be tainted by the meals we had yesterday. How we nourished our souls and ourselves in bygone years. This moon is bringing us to a point of hunger and tenacity and fierceness and focus. Let it shine. Let us shine in that passion and prosperity and desire. Our subconscious chakra message for this time is communication, the throat chakra. To communicate with ourselves, with what we desire and want. To know that we're communicating on higher levels than other people are. We're picking up on their tonal inflections. We're picking up on their facial expressions. We're picking up on a lot. And a lot of that might not even be geared towards us. It might be that they're tired, they've had a long day, they're frustrated, they're overwhelmed. Things aren't working the way that they thought they would. So when we're communicating here, we're communicating on a very high level. Not everybody we're going to meet is communicating on. So be mindful of that. But also connect with yourself. Connect with your spirit guides. Connect with your angels. Connect with your inner voice. Be open and be honest with yourself. Let yourself be a little self-indulgent during this time. It brings us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of. And that's the star Aquarius energy. Now, Aquarius is the next full moon. We might have to be mindful of the energy that that moon is bringing us. And there will, of course, be things to be mindful of during that time. But we also need to be mindful of letting our dreams get the best of us, of living in a dream world, of thinking of only idealisms. And coming back to Earth might seem like something we don't want to do. We want to live in a place that's a little bit more peaceful, harmonious, beautiful, connective, and powerful. So be mindful of that. It'll be very easy just to kind of want to escape. Our subconscious rooted message is the star. The star, where we have to be mindful of it, it's also shining really bright in our rooted self. Our dreams are getting real traction here. And it's not only what we wish upon a star for, it's what our soul is longing for. It's what starts to make us feel alive and content and passionate and powerful. The star is bringing us brilliance, and we are embracing that brilliance. This is a time to find the balance between the earthly plane, our responsibilities, and the spiritual plane, our heart, our emotions, and our desires. Our subconscious inner self is the Two of Swords. There is something that is opening to us that was once closed. We didn't know that that path was one that we could take, that we could follow, that we could embrace. So be mindful of that, that the unexpected really is going to be a part of us during this time. The sense that things kind of seem out of our control, they seem chaotic, they seem like they're just happening and we're just standing there. But then if we can embrace the unexpected, if we can move within the unexpected, that's going to be where we see things really coming to life, really gaining a life of their own, really kind of sweeping us into that power. Our subconscious emotional self is the Eight of Cups. We're walking away from what we once thought we would love. That's part of the release in the unexpected climax. The sense of, this isn't the road I thought I would be walking, but this is the road I feel most at home on. And it's an ending. It could be an ending of a relationship, an ending of a mindset. It could be that subconsciously we're still dealing with that relationship that ended, years ago or months ago, that, job that never panned through, that dream that we were never really quite able to realize the way that we wanted to. And now we're walking away from it because it shaped us in a certain way. But to carry around that hurt or that past is no longer relevant, is no longer useful. Our subconscious public arena is the Two of Cups. The minor arcana lovers card, we have the major arcana lovers card here. Following our hearts, embracing our hearts, our souls, our passion, our desire is going to be so important. And letting our hearts shine is just going to be amazing. Unity, love, and the power of connection. Our subconscious Luna message begins with, what do you need to release? It begins with a question. And it moves to attraction. What do we need to release that we are attracting to ourselves, that we are calling forward, that is negative, that is toxic, that is corrosive to our being? What do we need to release in order to be the person that we want to be, in order to have the life that we want to have, and in order to embrace the world that we want to embrace? What are we attracting to ourselves, consciously or subconsciously, that we don't want anymore? And how do we embrace the new path forward and the new passion within us? All right, Cancer. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the unexpected possibilities that this moon brings forward for us. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Cancer, and may you have a blessed moon.